Today I am going to recap an action and thriller movie titled Safe. There will be spoilers ahead. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy. A little girl in Nanjing, China named May is answering a question in class. She politely corrects her teacher, telling him that his calculations are wrong, to his dismay. It is obvious to everyone that she is a gifted mathematician. When she is walking home with her friends, she is abducted by some men and taken to a Chinese mafia boss named Han. He tells her he needs a way to store his data without leaving a digital trail. He reveals that he knows she has a photographic memory and wants her to work for him. She refuses, and Han threatens to kill her mother. Having no other option, she agrees. He introduces her to Chang, who he says will be her new father. Next, we are introduced to Luke, a cage fighter. During his match, he accidentally throws a decent punch and knocks his opponent into a coma. Luke is distraught and confronts the match organizer. It turns out that Luke has been throwing matches and profiting from it, and no one expected him to accidentally win the match. Luke is told that he has royally pissed off the Russian mafia boss named Emil, who bet a large sum on his match, expecting him to take a dive and lose. Hearing this, Luke rushes home. He calls his wife, but she doesn't pick up. When he gets home, he is too late. His wife, who was pregnant at the time, had been killed by the mafia boss's son, Vasily. Luke tells Vasily to kill him, but Vasily was feeling extra vindictive. Vasily tells him that they will let him go, but will keep watching him and kill anyone that he gets close to. He suggests Luke kill himself because they will keep tormenting him. 1 year later, May had started working for the Chinese mafia. She helped them calculate each store's profits and keep track of any business that fails to remit money back to the mafia. She learns a lot and is exposed to the brutal side of the mafia business. One day, a woman wakes her up and tells her that her mother had been sick for a while and has passed. She tells her that the mafia were never going to inform her and that she should pretend as if she doesn't know. Meanwhile, Luke had spent his time avoiding people and was currently sleeping in a homeless shelter. He meets a man with an infected foot who begs him for his shoes. Luke takes pity on him and gives him his shoes. The next morning, he finds out the man is dead and had been killed by someone who also wanted the shoes. He is questioned by the guards, and when they find alcohol, which is contraband, on him, they tell him not to come back to the shelter. Han arrives in New York and meets May. He tells her to memorize a series of numbers on a paper. It appears that the numbers are extremely important because Han burns the paper after she memorized them. He says he has an important job for her, and when she is being transported, they are ambushed by the Russian mafia, and May is kidnapped. While this is happening, Luke gets his wallet stolen on the street. He doesn't realize it until he tries to buy something, and when he finds out, he starts laughing in frustration. He is picked up by a cop, and when they realize who he is, they are surprised. It turns out that Luke used to be a cop and worked with them. He exposed the illicit actions of some corrupt cops in his precinct. They take him to an abandoned building and beat him up. They give him a gun and urge him to kill himself, but he just walks away. May is interrogated by the Russian boss Emil, and he demands the numbers she memorized. He tells her he had a spy working for the Chinese, who is the woman who told May about her mother. She begs May to tell the Russians what they want to know, but May tells her that she doesn't understand business and that when the Russians don't need her, she will be eliminated. When it's clear she can't sway May, she is promptly killed. The cops show up and there is a standoff with the Russians. Emil calls the corrupt police captain and tells him he would give him 5% more money than what Chang is offering him. During the pandemonium, May sneaks out. The police, Russians, and Chinese were all on the hunt to find her. Luke had finally given up and wanted to jump in front of a train and kill himself when he locks eyes with May. He notices May in distress and hiding from the Russian men who he recognizes. He sees May get on the train and decides to save her. He jumps on the train and is able to get in. When he catches up to the Russians, he takes them out one by one, showing that he is far from defenseless and he just chose not to fight when they came to his house. Just before he catches up to May, she runs out of the train thinking he is one of the bad guys. She is caught by some cops, but Luke shows up and knocks them out. The Russians chase them, but Luke is able to evade them. Luke uses the dead Russian's car to get new clothes and a hotel room. May decides to trust him and tells him that she was going to get another set of numbers before the Russians attacked her. They figure out that the numbers are for the combination to a safe. Chang tracks May's phone to their hotel. There is a shootout and 2 security men are killed. They lock down the hotel and take hostages. During the pandemonium, Luke and May are separated. Chang captures May and Luke escapes using a guy to break his fall. He gets a cab and calls Vasily the Russian boss's son and impersonates the dead guy. He tells Vasily he was able to get the numbers on a paper and Vasily tells him to bring it over and gives him his location. The police captain meets with the mayor. When the mayor hears that Luke had made contact with May, he is alarmed. He tells the captain that after 9/11, the CIA sent Luke over to New York to clean up the city, and for the next 7 years, Luke was responsible for the silent elimination of criminals within the city. The mayor says once Luke sets his sights on something, only one other person in the city can take him on. May is taken to Han. She desperately lies and tells Han that she didn't give anyone the numbers and pretended not to speak English. Luke gets to Vasily's location and goes on a rampage. He kills all the gangsters and takes Vasily hostage. Luke threatens Emil, who gives him the information about the content of the safe and its location. It is revealed that Luke's former CIA partner Alex is in a relationship with the mayor and works as the mayor's chief of staff. He worked with Luke to clean up New York City and has seduced the mayor. They intend to sell classified information to the Chinese mafia in exchange for $30 million. The money is in the safe, and the only way to access it is with the code which the Chinese mafia has. Luke teams up with the captain and his former colleagues to get to the safe since the money is heavily guarded. Their team takes out a lot of the men guarding the safe and 2 of the cops are killed. They get to the safe and just before the cops can double-cross him, Luke kills them all with the exception of the captain. He uses the captain to get out of the club with the money and locks him in his trunk. He breaks into the mayor's office, holds him at gunpoint, and steals the disc containing the information about some very powerful people. Luke calls Alex and tells him he has the money. Alex is forced by Luke to save May when he goes to meet Chang and his goons. At this point, both parties have what the other wants. Luke suggests they both drop their guns and have a good old-fashioned fist fight, and Alex agrees. Before they could start fighting though, May picks up a gun and shoots Alex, which gives Luke the opening to kill him. May tells Luke that he wouldn't have won a fight against Alex as she has seen him fight. Luke and May release the captain and Vasily. They also return the money back to Han, and to ensure no one comes after them, they threaten to release all the information they have to the public. Luke and May then travel to Seattle to start a new life. Let me know what you think about this movie in the comments below, and if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.